Hi, I'm Kat. Here's how to quickly and easily create a slick email newsletter using Boma. Start off by clicking the blue Create button from your home dashboard. Select Email, name your campaign and start. First up, define who you wish to receive your newsletter. It might be your entire database, or you could have a segment that you've created specifically related to those that you wish to receive your newsletter. Save and close. We'll come back to do our subject line and preview description after we've built our email, so we'll jump straight on into selecting a template. I'm going to choose a new template from my brand. Here we are in our empty template. Click on the Rows tab to start adding your content. First up, we're going to go and choose an article from Boma's content library. So I select Content Library Article. Let's just select that one from the gap. Now once you've chosen your article, you'll see on the right hand side that we display a few different formats for your section. You can choose one with the image on the right or the left, or a larger centered option. As you scroll down, you'll see we do also have the longer format. That's not really suitable for a newsletter. We definitely want to use one of these shorter formats. So I'll just use this one from the top. Click, drag and drop that into your template. Now you can customize any of this content. When you click into the text area, you can change the font, the size, the color, the alignment, etc. with this little text editing tool. Click on the image to bring up the option to change it. Search from our free image library. There's over 1.7 million images here, or upload your own. Here in the file manager is images that you've used recently, so I'll just insert that one. And there we have it. Let's jump back into the Rows tab and choose another article from Boma's content library, so you can add as many as you like. Scroll down, select the one that you wish to add, and again choose the format, drag and drop. Again, customize that as you wish. Now you'll notice when you click on the Learn More button that here you can see the button action is to open a web page, and there's the link to the page that we host for you where your newsletter readers can access the longer form content. So we're giving people a snapshot, and then if they want to learn more they can click on the button to do so. So I've added 2 articles from the content library. You can go back and continue adding others, as many as you like, but we've got another few options as well. Let's imagine that we've got a page that we'd like to share. That could be an original blog post that I've written that's on my website, or any web page that I've found that I'd like to share with my readers with a bit of commentary. We've got you covered for that. So back on this Rows tab, in this little drop down menu, you'll notice it says here add content from content library or website URL. This time we're going to select website URL. Now I'm going to jump into this other tab. I've been perusing the Sydney Morning Herald. I've found this article on franchises and their struggle with employees that I'd like to share. Maybe I've got a specialization or a niche that I focus on franchise businesses. So copy the URL of the page that you'd like to share and paste it into Boma. We will then extract some data from that page for you to create a segment in your newsletter. And again, we'll provide you with the differing formats. Drag and drop it in. We've got our headline, we've got our intro text. You can customize this if you like to put your spin on it, why you're sharing this article in a newsletter. When I click on the Learn More button, you'll see that's going to open that Sydney Morning Herald page where they can read the article. If you want to, you can click on the article that we've brought in from that page and you can change it up or just leave it as is. So far we've got 2 articles from the content library. We're sharing a web page, and again that can be any page you found online, or it might be one of your original blog posts. You can use that method to share that into your newsletter. A third option might be that you've just got your own content, your own thing you'd like to say, whether you've got a new team member for example, or perhaps there's something happening in your local region that you'd like to comment on. Back on the Rows tab in this little drop down, we've got an option called Placeholder Rows. Here we've created a variety of options for layout with placeholder image, heading, text and button for you to insert your own content. And as I scroll down, you'll see there's options with multiple columns, some that have no image, some that have a big headline image. So depending on what you want to say and how much you've got to say, choose the format you want and drag and drop that into your email newsletter template. Then click on the placeholder image to bring up an option to change it. Again, choose one from our library or import your own. Then you just need to replace this placeholder text, add in your heading, update the body text, and then what do you want as the call to action? So click on this placeholder button. You can either trash it if you don't need one, or you can update it based on what you want your readers to do. Now by default, the button action is to open a web page, so you might perhaps have some information on your website where they can learn more. You might just direct them to your contact us page. But this button can also send an email. So if you want your readers to email you as a response to whatever you're saying in this section, you can choose that as an option. Pre-fill the to, so the reader doesn't have to try and work that out. You can pre-fill the subject line so you know what they're replying to. You can also pre-fill some of the body if you wish. You can then change the label on that button to email us, for example. They would click that button, it would launch their email tool with this pre-filled in, and then they just type their personalized responses. There is an option to make a call or send an SMS text message. These are only relevant if people are reading your email on a smartphone, so use those with caution. You can, in addition, attach a PDF or document if you want your readers to download something. Click on Link File. You'll be brought into the file manager here. What you need to do first is upload your PDF into your file manager, then insert it here, and there we go. It's automatically done for you. You might change the label on this button to say download PDF, etc. They'd click this button, it would automatically begin that download. So we've got three different types of content so far. Content from the content library, we're sharing a web page, and our own unique content. Now before I show you one more option, I just want to bring your attention to the fact that the newsletter, it looks pretty good, but it's a little bit cluttered. So here's a tip to spread it out and make it a bit easier on the eye. If we just go into one of these sections here, with the content library sections, right at the bottom there's a little spacer option. So I'm going to drag that and add it between each section. As you can see, it puts a little gap between each article, makes it much easier on the eye. So the fourth type of content that you can add into your newsletter, you'll find on the Content tab. Here we provide some additional objects that you can inject into your newsletter. In this case, I'm going to share a video. So drag in that tile, then click here on this little button. Here you'll notice you just need to paste in the URL for your YouTube or Vimeo, and we'll display it. So here I'll just jump into Boma's YouTube channel, and let's use this webinar recording on how to market your firm on a budget. Jump into the actual video, copy the URL. I'll just close that before it starts. Jump back into Boma, then paste in that URL here. We'll go away and bring in some data from that video with the little tile and the play button. So super simple, super easy. 4 different types of content you can really easily add into your newsletter. Look how professional that looks and how easy that was. Finally, for a newsletter, you will always want to have some kind of introduction. So on the Content tab, let's inject a text box right into the top there, and then replace this placeholder text. I'm going to type in Dear. Now I use this merge tags feature to pull in the first name from our Boma database. So a nice little personal intro for our readers. That's something that makes a difference in email marketing. And here I'm just typing some placeholder text, which just serves as my introduction text. And there we have it. Use this preview button to double check your formatting and the look for your readers, whether they're reading your email on a desktop or on a mobile device. Everything's automatically mobile responsive. Once you're happy with your email, save and close out of the email editor. Now we get a chance to write our subject line. The reason I left this till the end is I don't want to just put in October newsletter. That's not exactly going to compel me to open the email. What is best as a subject line is take one of the articles from your newsletter, perhaps the one that you think is most important or most entertaining or will provide the most value, and use that. It might be 10 tips and tricks for strengthening your cash flow, or 6 ways to get paid faster, something along those lines. And maybe you could add in and lots more. Something like that is going to be much more appealing to your readers than October newsletter. So I'm just going to type in some placeholder text here. In the meantime, your preview description, as you can see here, this is shown in the inbox after the subject line and is just some additional text to encourage readers to open your email. So these done right means you'll see an increase in your open rate. Send a test email to yourself and others before you send it to the masses. A quick note, the Dear Insert First Name feature doesn't work with the test because you're not sending it in conjunction with an email database. It will only work when you deliver it for real. When you're happy, schedule the delivery. Choose whether you wish to send that email immediately or for a time in the future that better suits you and your clients. Here's a tip. Early to midweek, early to mid-morning is the best time to send your emails, ideally Monday or Tuesday between 8 and 10 a.m. All of your email analytics are also here in Boma, so ensure that you're checking your open and click-through rate so that you know what's really working and what's resonating with your audience. Thanks so much for watching.